Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new indie authors. Find us on all major podcast systems and YouTube. Join Charlotte Cannon on today's show.
Hi, this is Charlotte Canyon, award-winning author of the book You Have to Laugh to Keep from Crying, How to Parent Your Parents. Today we are going to interview Alan Bourgeois, and he's going to be talking to us about the Year of the Reader. Welcome to the show, Alan.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here, Charlotte.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the Year of the Reader means?
Sure. So three of our organizations, the Authors Marketing International, the Texas Dear Indie, and the B4R bookstore, have gained together and decided to create a year where we can actually thank readers for being readers. Something that, while authors do that to a point, it's not really emphasized enough. And we really want to show appreciation for readers, because without them, authors would not exist. Without them buying the books, bookstores wouldn't exist, and so much more. So we wanted to really find a way throughout the year of 2022 to say thank you, and we appreciate you.
Well, okay, you told us a little bit, but expound on why should we have a Year of the Reader? Have we not thanked our readers?
We do when we buy, when they buy their books, but that's that short little point. But we want to go a little bit further than that. We really want to extend that so that people do really appreciate from authors and from bookstores that they are appreciated, that their money is appreciated, that their purchases are appreciated. In addition, with not only appreciating them, we want to expand the readers again. So many younger readers, younger generations, go towards the toys, the electronics, let's say, or the movies or TV shows, and they don't read books like they once did. And so we want to encourage more reading. And so that's why Dear Texas, Dear Indie is part of this. Dear stands for Drop Everything and Read. And so whether it's Indie or from Texas or wherever, we do want people to really sit down for a few minutes and just read. It's surprising how 30 minutes of leisure reading can change a person's life, both through release of stress, release of anxiety, and help them think outside the box, help them learn things that they would not otherwise learn, whether it's through a fiction or nonfiction book. There's constant learning, constant growth. And so by joining those two aspects, showing the appreciation, encouraging reading, we think that a year's worth of appreciation is well deserved.
Well, and don't you also think that reading actually creates endorphins in the brain that helps your imagination? And I think that's what a lot of our children are missing nowadays. They didn't either get read to as they were little, and they're not reading as adults. I have to say, there's probably kids that have graduated from high school and they probably can't read a whole book.
You're exactly right. So many schools, not just here in Texas, but around the world, have focused in on the testing of abilities and stuff like that, instead of actually teaching more of the leisure reading, or encourage just reading in general. Without reading, people don't get everything else. They don't understand the mathematics. They don't understand science. They don't understand art. They don't understand the world. And so reading in itself is very critical. And I need to be clear here, we're talking about leisure reading, which is totally different than reading the books that your teachers assign you to read, the history books, the science books, all those things. This is leisure reading, where, like you mentioned, thinking outside the box, being creative is where that leisure reading comes from. Just also, as you mentioned, the endorphins, just being able to relax. That is so important these days, especially since students, no matter what grade level they're in, seem to be more stressed out this year or every year, simply because they're being forced to read certain things that are not fun or pleasant for them. And we do want to encourage that. But we also want to encourage the adults to be reading more too, because they're stressed out at work. And that is no fun for anybody. We see how stress is being played out through road rage and so many other things. Just the way this politics are. We're just stressed out on so many levels. And leisure reading really does help make that change. And again, 30 minutes a day is a world of difference and helps that person relax, calm down, feel more at peace. The endorphins, as you said, help them become more comfortable, more in harmony.
Alan, can you tell us what resources we have as authors?
Well, there are lots of resources. Dear Texas, Dear Indy has created some postcards that authors can purchase for all they're paying for is the shipping fee. They don't have to pay anything extra, and we'll ship them to them that they can pass out. And on the back of the card is a gift from Before Our Store for a discount so they can buy more books and stuff. But those postcards are a simple way that the author can autograph them, pass them out when they're doing events, and just say, I appreciate you. Thank you for being a reader, regardless if they buy a book or not. But we also have, in addition to those download cards that authors will give for free when they request those postcards, that they can give to a reader when they've purchased a book that gives them an additional free ebook or an additional $4 off a purchase of a book. So it's another way of saying thank you to those readers and showing our appreciation. You know, you have both options, regardless if they make a purchase or not. You can hand them out and show your appreciation as an author to that reader. You're going one step further than everybody else, and you're saying, I do appreciate you, and thank you for being a reader.
Give us an idea of why reading is so critical to not just our children, but to our adults for the society, because we know that anxiety and stress, you know, plagues us all.
Yes, you're absolutely right. We see the anxiety and stress played out through road rage, the politics, you know, arguing with each other instead of thinking clearly about what's going on. The economy, you know, all these things play into it. Plus, then when you get home, you have stress with the kids, making sure that their homework's done, making sure life is good, you're able to feed them well. Excuse me. And then at the same time, for the kids, they're getting all the stress from school as far as you have to meet these certain standards, and that's all we're teaching them is to meet those standards really versus teaching. So with leisure reading, and I need to clarify, leisure reading is about picking up a book you want to read and enjoy just sitting there and reading for 30 minutes a day is a world of difference. It helps with the endorphins, which help you relax, help release the anxiety. It allows you to think outside the box, to allow the creative minds to work. If kids are exposed to that more often, then the dealing with work, with school changes because they're able to see things differently. They're able to understand things differently. They're able to change the way they want to react to things because they're thinking creative. They're thinking outside the box. And that's a huge difference for those kids than those that are just so focused in on what is needed versus what is enjoyable and stuff.
What is your ultimate goal with the Year of the Reader?
To bring back reading to more people. That is the ultimate goal, but to also make sure that readers do understand we appreciate them. B4R is a bookstore that is designed to help indie authors. So we have the largest collection of indie author books on any website, and we also help them earn a fair share. So with all of these things combined, everybody benefits. And that helps economics, that helps inspire people, that helps reading and releasing of that stress, as I've mentioned many times. So as a combined effort, all of this comes together and really helps the society, not only here, but we hope worldwide in a long-term aspect.
You know, for people that don't actually read, tell us what kind of genres. It's kind of like reading a movie a lot of times, or reading a true story that you've heard on TV. It comes to life and you can put your own imagination in. Give us a little bit of the genre and, you know, what kind of books are out there for people to read, because there may be people that have never read a whole book. I know we may have read parts, but not a whole book.
You're absolutely right. And it's surprising, of the BCIS system, which is the ones that list all the different types of genres and subgenres and stuff like that, there's like 25,000 different types of genres that you can read from, whether it be fiction or nonfiction. Fiction definitely has the majority of them because people are creative authors, love to write about things. So really what it comes down for readers to determine what they want to experience. Do they enjoy the fantasies, or do they enjoy sci-fi, such as outer space or science aspects? Do they enjoy true stories about people who've gone through experiences? Do they want to read about how a hero plays into a romance, or a hero plays into saving the world? There are so many different options. It really comes down to the authors. What would you like to experience? Look at your work. What do you enjoy doing at work? Maybe there's a fiction story related to that, or even a nonfiction story you might enjoy reading that helps you relax and think outside the box. There are so many choices to choose from. It all comes down to that moment, and whether it's an ebook or a physical book or even an audiobook, you can just plug in, sit down, and just relax. 30 minutes a day will make a world of difference. It's so surprising.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you know, that all the different genres, but also, you know, reading can start prenatal. Reading can start, you know, the mother can read to that child because I know that they hear. Reading can start when they're babies, and that makes them better readers, that make them better learners, that helps their brain organize all of the alphabet. And it's kind of amazing. What have you seen as, you know, you're you know, head of a big organization, Authors Marketing? You know, what do you see in you know, in giving back to the readers and trying to get them more encouraged to read more? Because like you say, it's critical to our brain matter, it's critical to society that we're able to read. There's people that can't even read signs on the street.
You're absolutely right. Reading is so critical in that aspect. And back to the aspect of reading for children, prenatal, it's been proven through a variety of different scientific reports and things of this nature that it does help the child grow, whether it's through the music or through the reading. But from the moment that child is born, you do want to start reading to them. You do want to spend the time to read to them. It could be very simple stories, but definitely reading, because it does help their educational aspect, but it also helps them in the form of being able to, as you mentioned, hear the letters, hear the words, understand what they mean, see the reaction on the parent's face as they're reading the story and stuff, to better understand the emotions and things. So it's really important. The Before store does have packages that newborns can get on a monthly basis with new books, so that the parent always has something fresh and new to read to them that helps them grow.
Okay, so what is the end goal of the Year of the Reader?
So the end goal is real simple. One, to make sure authors really express their appreciation to readers, that readers are so important to the aspect of publishing, that they are really appreciated by the authors, by the publishing world. Because again, without them, authors could be writing, but no one's going to be reading. So through that, we want to also make sure people are encouraged to read more and to understand that reading can be done in a leisure concept, not just work related or not just school related. Just doing that leisure reading, again, 30 minutes a day makes a world of difference on helping people think outside the box, become more creative, learn things, and there are different perspectives and different ideas and different ways of thinking. All of that makes our society as a whole a much more pleasant, much more exciting and prosperous place to live.
Well, Alan, we want to thank you for this interview and for creating the Year of the Reader, and that we can give back as authors. I think it's an amazing, amazing campaign that you're going towards, and we wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching or listening to the Indie Beacon Show, produced by Bourgeois for the Authors Marketing International LLC. Copyright 2021. Voiceover by Bourgeois. If you would like to be a sponsor of the show, please email us at authorsmarketing@outlook.com. If you would like to be on the show, please complete the form found on our website at indiebeacon.com. You may also watch previous year's shows on the website. Music is Frolic of Words, created for Indie Beacon.